Hi, Chef Justin Watson back with a bonus recipe for mango salsa. In this video, I'll show you how to peel and dice a mango along with some other vegetables. I've included a copy of the recipe in the description. Let's start with a mango. I like to use a vegetable peeler. I'm quite fond of the OXO brand. It's comfortable and fits in my hand nice. Follow the link in the description if you want to pick one up for yourself. You'll note I'm using a pulling action rather than pushing the peeler away from me. I find it gives me better control. As you can see, the mango is quite ripe, so I'm having better luck starting the peeler from the less ripe end. This also makes it quite slippery, so be careful your fingers don't slip in front of the peeler or knife. To cut a mango, it's important you understand the shape of the pit. I've highlighted the approximate shape and size of the pit in red for reference. Locate the stem end of the mango and place that end on the cutting board with the long end of the oval facing north and south. From the center, come over about a ½ inch to cut off your first piece. Repeat this on the other side, but be careful because it is slippery. Now, pinching the pit with your fingers and holding the knife at an angle, follow the shape of the pit to trim off the corners. Now to dice the mango, start with a horizontal cut to slice it in half. Then slice it into ½ inch strips. Rotate and then cut the strips into diced pieces. Onto the Roma tomato. Start by cutting off the stem end, but don't throw it out, there's plenty of good usable tomato around that stem end. Cut the tomato into slices long ways. Stacking 2 slices on top of each other, slice it into 1/4 inch strips. Turn those and dice them into 1/4 inch cubes. For the bell pepper, start by cutting off the top and the bottom. There's a couple different methods I use to cut a pepper. In this method, I stick the tip of the knife and slice down one corner. Laying the pepper on its side with the knife parallel to the cutting board, slice sideways while unwrapping the pepper and removing the seeds and veins. I try to utilize as much of the usable pepper as possible, so we will dice the top and bottom. This reminds me of a story. At my first cooking job, I was asked to make a salsa using peppers. As a young kid, not knowing any better, the first thing I did was throw away the tops and bottoms. As you might guess, the chef almost took my head off. Lesson learned. I've used them ever since. I typically like to add red onions to the salsa, but at the time of filming there had been a recall, so I steered clear. However, I did include them in the recipe. Now to add a little acidity with some lime. Another one of my favorite tools, I'm using a microplane to zest the lime. To juice the lime, I start by cutting off each end, then slice it in half. Cutting off the ends makes it easier to squeeze. I chose to use oregano because that's what I had growing in my garden, but cilantro or parsley works just as well. Because I'm pairing the salsa with something spicy, I chose to keep it mild for contrast. You can kick up the heat with some chili peppers as another option. Once the oregano has been picked, I gather it together in a tight pile to chop it up. I like to add just a touch of olive oil for richness and mouthfeel. Simple seasoning of fresh ground black pepper and salt. Now for the most critical part of this recipe. Take a taste and adjust accordingly. I didn't feel like it had enough mango, so I added a bit more. Now that I've made that adjustment, I'll taste it again. Fresh mango salsa paired with pig rub pork tenderloin. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this recipe, hit that thumbs up. Leave me a comment and let me know if you like this style of recipe, or if there's a specific recipe you'd like to see. Please consider subscribing, and if you haven't checked out the recipe for pig rub sous vide pork tenderloin, click on the link here. And remember, mise en place, it's a way of life.